Hi guys, welcome to Hike Tech. Here doing some gear reviews today. This particular one's on the Jetboil cooking systems. These particular systems we're mainly gearing towards the overland track and the Three Capes track, but obviously can be used in any day or multi-day hike depending on what it is you want to do. So today we're looking at this particular one is the micro mo, and then we have the flash, and we'll be talking about the zip, the mini mo, the sumo, and the mighty mo. So for this particular exercise, we'll talk about the mini mo, which is very similar to the zip, although it uses a match. This is a auto ignition version, which also has a regulated burner. The regulated burner enables you to simmer and control for cooking. But for what we're typically looking at for most hikes, you really just want to boil water. You don't really want to cook in these systems. Have other systems for that. Now, in saying that, for like the overland track, you may have a system like this with two people, and then someone else may carry a little burner like this. A little tiny little titanium burner. It's not worth much money. Screws straight onto a cylinder. You might have another pot system or whatever on top. And that way you can just heat, a pot of water and be doing something else on the other cooker. It's good to have two. In saying that, there's also the Optimus Crux, which is a much nicer burner. It's much more controlled. Very nice burner, but it is a little heavier. But I would probably suggest this burner over the little cheapy Chinese thing. But on the Hike Tech website, you'll have access to both. You can make your own decisions on that. Up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'll just cook these, show you how to set up the actual Jetboil. So you have a cup underneath, which you can use for coffee. I tend not to use that much. You've got like a titanium cup or whatever you've got. So I don't tend to use this much. It does protect the bottom of it. Not too sure about that. There's a lid on the top which enables you to pour it. Inside you have the frying pan support. So this sits on top of the cooker, the burner, and enables you to place the Jetboil frying pan onto it. Otherwise it won't work. You need this unit if you're going to use the frying pan. The frying pan has the flux ring. It enables the heat transfer through the frying pan. In saying that, if you're cooking pancakes and things, you may want to lift it off the burner and move it around to get some even heat transfer. Generally, not too bad on the top if you got it on a low burner. Okay, the frying pan also comes with a little plate that clips onto the bottom, which can be used as a normal plate for steak or sausages. Tend to use it for like chips or biscuits or cheese, olives, snack sort of stuff. Not bad for that. Anyway, I'll have a look at that a bit later. So we'll cook a cup of tea with this. So the actual cylinder fits in, the burner fits in, and the very bottom we have the fuel canister stabilizer. So the fuel canister stabilizer enables it to be a little bit more stable on uneven ground, which is great because you don't want to burn yourself. So the cylinder clips in, and then we screw the burner on. We then clip the pot, which has the flux ring, which heat transfers. This heats water amazingly fast. So that clips on. We'll then put a cup of water. It's about 450 grams. Now, in saying that, these things are that fast, so don't worry too much about how quickly these things boil water. They just boil water so fast it doesn't matter. Turn it up. This is the simmer one, which means you've got to turn it up a bit more. It's auto ignition, so bang, it's done. You probably hear it burning. And we have a cup here and a tea bag. All good to go. So this Jetboil will also do a spoon, a fork, and a little lifter. Now the lifter I like. It's good for pancakes and bits and pieces. It's not too bad. It's very light. It's really good. It clips away, and it actually folds underneath between the frying pan and the little plate. Now these fork and spoon, well, I think you should do that with those. And we'll go for some titanium, a few different options I'll show you, or some anodized aluminium, much better for that. Okay, so we can hear it starting to boil now. Now, when it comes to the fuel can stabilizer, which is the bit that clips the fuel canister on, that you need to buy that separately. So just remember that if you're buying it. Otherwise, just on the cylinder alone, it can be a little bit unstable. Okay, so that's boiled. As you can see, that's very quick. Pour a cup of coffee without burning myself. Or a cup of tea in this case. Well, that's that. Done. So quick. Trust me, don't look at times. The flash here doesn't have a regulator, so it's mainly designed for just cooking boiling water, which is great. But it does have auto ignition, and it'll boil half a litre of water in 100 seconds. So yeah, it's fantastic. It has a little area on the side here that shows the temperature. It changes colour. Bit of a novelty item, but yeah, it does it. Okay, as I said before, we have the Jetboil frying pan, which is the same as the one I use. The model looks a little bit different, but it's the same thing. Great little frying pan. Good for just taking some sausages or steaks or a stir fry, things like that. So you take it when you want to actually do that sort of thing. That's it for that. But what I'll just go through the range. We have the flash, which is 100 seconds for half a litre. It weighs 371 grams, so it's the lightest. Okay. It's a push button auto ignition, but it's unregulated. Okay, but it will boil water very, very quickly. We have the zip, which is next, which is 0.8 of a litre, which is the same as this pot. And it uses a match or a lighter to light it. And it comes in at 340 grams. So we're saving some weight. But it is a regulated burner, so you can simmer on that. The next one is the Minimo, which is 1 litre. It uses a match again, and it has regulated simmer control, and it's 415 grams. We then go to the Sumo, and all of these will be on the website. They'll all be sort of in the same place. You can sort of pick what you want to do. The Sumo is 1.8 litres. It's 450 grams. It's auto ignition, and it is regulated. So it sort of does everything. If you're looking at potentially wanting to cook in one of these systems, then that's probably the one to go, but probably more if you got at least 2 people or more for that sort of thing. The Mighty Mo, which is the Jetboil, pretty well equivalent of this particular burner from Optimus. Similar sort of thing. You can take your choice. Both of them will be on the website, so you can sort of figure that out yourself. My suggestion is, if you're doing like the overland track, you'd share the weight between one of these and have one of these little burners or one of these little burners, and you would have like a pot, a cup, or something like that to share the cooking time. You know, you could be heating something and doing something and making a cup of tea or a coffee. Okay, so that's the way I would suggest you do it. I think that's pretty well it. I think we've pretty well covered everything. There will be a review of other items like the MSR and the Optimus on their own, and then what I will do is a gear review sort of covering the whole range, and then you can make some decisions between what it is you wanted to do between those. Okay, that's it from Hike Tech. Enjoy your hiking. Catches.